Long before the flood, long before kingdoms and conquests, there lived a man who would rise above the world, not by war, not by wealth, but by wisdom. His name was Idris, alayhi salam, the prophet who touched the heavens, and his story might just change yours. Allah mentions him briefly, but powerfully, in the Qur'an. In Surah Maryam, Allah says, and mentioned in the book Idris, indeed he was a man of truth and a prophet, and we raised him to a high station. Quran 1956-57. And in Surah Al-Anbiya, Allah says, and Ismail and Idris and Dhul Kifl, all were of the patient. Quran 2185. Though the Quran doesn't give us a detailed biography, what Allah does say is enough to make you stop and reflect. He was truthful, he was patient, he was raised to a high station. According to authentic narrations from the companions, supported in works referenced in Tirmidhi, Idris, alayhi salam, was the first human to write with a pen. Before him, knowledge was passed only through memory, but Idris, alayhi salam, changed that. He recorded wisdom, preserved revelation, wrote down rules of morality and justice. He was not just a prophet, he was the father of writing, education, and literacy. And because he could write, his people could learn. And because they could learn, they could grow. Every book, every letter, every scroll traces back to the wisdom Allah gave him. The lesson this gives us is never underestimate the power of passing down knowledge. You never know who you'll impact centuries later. Idris, alayhi salam, lived in a time of growing evil. The children of Kabul had become tyrants. They were drunk on desires, music, weapons, and arrogance. Meanwhile, the children of Habal, the righteous, lived quietly, avoiding them. But Idris, alayhi salam, did not look away. He stood in the middle of corruption and spoke truth. According to authentic tafsir and hadith traditions, he was the first to lead an organized fight against injustice. He introduced law and discipline. He taught sewing so people could earn clean livelihoods. He even invented means of war, not to conquer, but to protect the innocent. Sometimes to clean a rotting world, you need courage, not just prayer. Idris, alayhi salam, reminds us, faith is not passive. It stands up. It speaks out. But Idris was not just a leader. He was a worshiper. He would often retreat to reflect, fast, and seek Allah's nearness. According to narrations, he was a powerful and well-built man